Oh, we're live. We're live.
We're live.
Okay. I don't know why you're so freezy. Let me close out of some stuff here before I let everybody
Am I
know
freezing?
that you need to visit Bulwark Capital and knowyourriskradio.com to check out our friend Zach. You know, our friend Zach he is all things financial, you guys. He knows everything there is to know about financial stuff. I don't. I suck at that stuff. That's why I turned to Zach. Zach is the man. You guys need to turn to him. And then check out all things financial with Zach at Bulwark Capital at knowyourriskradio.com. Do it. Go there. You can see all the information right there at the bottom of the screen. Okay. Do that. Also, I have a point of personal privilege. I had lunch yesterday with Morgan. I
Morgan.
wanted to give a shout out to Morgan. It was super fun. She drove to Waco so we could have lunch. It's always fun to see people here in our community. And I had the privilege of having lunch with her. She told me to say something like, what was it? Rainbows flying out of unicorn butts. And she said that people in the group would understand that. I don't understand. I guess it's an inside joke with a bunch of people here. So I'm saying it because it's an inside joke. Anyway, so I'm saying it. Anyways, it was a fun time. We didn't have a ton of time together, but it was a wonderful time. It was good for my soul. And mwah to Morgan. So thank you.
She is good people. Definitely.
Good people.
She is good people. All right. Couple things before we get to the big news of the day, which of course is Mitch McConnell having another whatever it is that is happening to Mitch McConnell as of late. The most important story today by far, I think, without exception, and I think this is objectively true, and that is that Britney Spears' soon-to-be ex-husband has unfollowed her on Instagram.
Dun, dun, dun.
So, cope with that. It's going to be a tough day for all of us.
Yes, seethe and cope, you guys. Seethe and cope.
So that has happened. Also, I had completely forgotten he existed, but Michael Avenatti does still continue to exist as a human being.
He's in jail, right?
Yes.
Okay, I was going to say,
yes.
Yeah.
And he's going to be staying there for a nice long time because just yesterday, he lost his appeal on that Nike case. So he had tried to appeal I think he had a 14-year sentence as a result of the Nike case, and he lost that appeal yesterday. So he's going to stay in the prison.
That guy, remember when Joy and all those hags at the View were like, he would be such a great president.
Oh my gosh, I remember when the entire mainstream media was propping him up.
Just fawning all over him. He's so hot. He'd make such a great president. You guys, so beautiful. That Michael Avenatti. Now he's in prison. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's going to be staying there. So
yeah.
Oh well. Also, this is going to make everybody mad, and it should, because it's the most ridiculous headline that I saw yesterday, and that is that the city of Denver is going to be paying out a sum of $4.7 million to BLM protesters who were arrested during lockdown. So during the summer of George Floyd 2020 BLM psychoness, they violated their curfew, right? So they were out later than they were supposed to be, burning down buildings and whatnot. They were arrested, and now they filed suit because they are saying, we shouldn't have been arrested because we were allowed to protest. And because the city of Denver basically just doesn't want to deal with their shit anymore, they're settling, and they're paying them almost $5 million. That's going to be split among 300 of those a-hole protesters.
Okay, let me get this straight. My brain just it hurts from this. So taxpayers are footing the bill for this.
Correct.
Taxpayers are paying so that these lunatics could protest, go to jail, and then bitch about going to jail for protesting.
Correct.
That's what's happening. They get paid.
America.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's bad. It's real bad.
This is what's happening.
Yeah.
I just serenity now. This is what. Okay.
Right?
All right.
And I don't mean to be the bearer of bad news, but when I see headlines like that, I feel like people need to know what's happening.
Oh yeah, we got it. Yeah, you have to know.
Yeah. I just, there's no,
you got to know.
not
And then people are
knowing.
like, why are we broke? Why don't we have any money? Okay, well, here's like exhibit A.
Right.
Exhibit double A. I can't help these people. Oh my God.
I know. It's just infuriating.
Oh my God, my brain hurts. This is why I get migraines, you guys. This is why.
I'm sorry, you guys. I'm sorry to tell you that. But I'm not sorry to tell you what is in the most popular package at genucell.com/chicks right now. I thought to myself, why don't we just show on the screen
We should.
what comes in the current curated most popular package at genucell.com/chicks. And it's this. It is your dark spot corrector. It is your microdermabrasion. This is the stuff that is my favorite, the one that you use once weekly or so as an exfoliator, and it smells amazing. That's my favorite product. They also have the XV anti-wrinkle treatment, which is
I
like
love that stuff.
buttery,
oh my God,
delicious
you guys,
moisturizer.
The best.
Oh.
It's the absolute. I would bathe in that stuff if I could. So great.
They have the eye bags and puffiness super secret awesome gel, which helps reduce the appearance of the bags that you can get under your eyes, and then the immediate effects, which literally eliminates wrinkles the second you put it on. I don't know how it works. It's miraculous. It's absolutely incredible. And then of course the dark spot corrector, which when you use the microdermabrasion first and then the dark spot corrector and then the XV anti-wrinkle cream, that's like your trio of magic to take care of any of those dark spots or sunspots or age spots or whatever kind of spots you may have.
Liver
spots. This will take care of that. So you can get all of that for 70% off. It works great for men and women alike. You also get free shipping. It's 100% money back guarantee if you don't like it, which is not going to happen because everybody loves it. And then you also get the beauty box included, which has the mystery luxury gift.
It's mysterious and luxurious.
So seriously, like, why would you not take advantage of this? You should do that right now. 70% off is a deal that is pretty spectacular, and you can get it at genucell.com/.
And remember, when you guys support our sponsors, you're supporting this show. Just remember that. I don't think we remind you of that enough, because if we don't have sponsors, we don't have a show.
That's true.
That's how we actually get paid, and we keep our lights on.
Yeah. Just so FYI. If you could help with that
would be great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to the main story of the day, which I happened to catch sight of on Twitter within minutes after it was posted and happened. And that is that Mitch McConnell experienced another episode. It's super hard to watch, but it also needs to be watched because people need to see the state of some of the people who are representing us in government. This is terrifying, especially given that the question that he froze on when it was asked was, hey, are you going to run for re-election in 2026?
My God.
So you guys, he's 81 right now. They're asking, are you going to run again 3 years from now for another 6-year term? And maybe that question is because it's an outlandish question to me. So maybe it's so outlandish that it made him freeze. That is what made him freeze.
I don't think that's what made him freeze. I don't think that's what it is. I think he has full on, like, something is neurologically obviously wrong with him, and he needs to step down immediately.
And
like yesterday.
We can talk about what's going to happen if he does that in a second, but everybody needs to see what happened. Here it is.
What?
Running for re-election in 2026.
That's oh my God.
Did you hear the question, Senator? Running for re-election in 2026? All right, I'm sorry, you all. We're going to need a minute.
Just a minute?
Penny.
Just one.
Okay.
Somebody else have a question? Please speak up.
It's not because he can't hear. And listen, I know I'm supposed to have empathy, y'all. I know I am, but I have as much empathy for him as I do for Fetterman. I just don't have empathy. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. These people are legislators. They're supposed to be doing really important things, like policy wise, and they are running our country, and they're like literally like just pushing it into the ground.
Yeah.
I don't have empathy for this stuff. He has got to retire. Period.
And people are worried, well, but he's the Republican leader, and there's a Democrat governor in Kentucky, and what's going to happen? Well, what will happen is that thanks to a law that was passed in Kentucky, the governor would have to choose his replacement from a list of 3 people presented by the legislators that are Republican. So unless that was fought tooth and nail, in the courts, he would be replaced with a Republican. And so that's not, we don't have to worry about a Democrat governor appointing a Democrat replacement. That's not going to happen in the state of Kentucky. And so, at this point, that politics shouldn't even be factoring into this,
right?
Because it is clear to anyone with eyeballs that he is unfit to continue to serve.
Exactly.
Period.
So just do it already. So just do it. Because also, moreover, it makes us look like we look awful, from a party standpoint. Because a lot of us are screaming term limits. And then you see this guy who can't answer a simple question because he's so freaking old. And he's been in there forever. And so it makes us look like hypocrites when we're all screaming term limits. Go, retire, step down, have somebody else do the job because you simply can't do it. Like I said, again, I want to have empathy, and I do from a personal standpoint. I have empathy for him, but these people and the people surrounding him need to be able to recognize when it's time to step down. So do it.
It's like they're waiting to see which party bends first.
Right.
Because we've got Feinstein, she's still trying to stay in government. And so I think that there's this, well, if she's going to stay, then McConnell's going to stay. And if McConnell's going to stay, then Fetterman's going to stay. And if Fetterman's going to stay, then Biden's going to stay. And it's like everybody just won't leave. None of them will leave, even though it's way overdue
and we're
for them
all
to leave.
And we're all like, people are literally screaming. I mean, you see the videos of people screaming at him, retire. I mean, there are people at events screaming that.
Yeah.
And those are his constituents. You think that would mean something. You think that at least his staffers would be like, sir, they're screaming that you need to GTFO. It's like, you know what I mean? It's time.
And the families, like
they don't care.
They live with themselves.
They don't care. It's the same reason that, the Biden family is like, we got to stay, because power. These people are so drunk on power and money, and the money and power that we give them, or that they've bestowed upon themselves, through us. They just want to stay there forever and keep sucking money from us. It's like, stop it. Step down.
Really need, if term limits don't happen, age limits need to, because this
is
out of control. It is out of control.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of age, the question was asked of KJP yesterday, once again about Biden's age, but specifically about his reported tiredness. There is a book that has come out about Biden in which it says that staffers are concerned that he's very, very tired as of late. So the reporters asked KJP if this is true, and she didn't like it.
There's a new book coming, The Last Politician Inside Joe Biden's White House and the Struggle for America's Future. The Guardian has excerpts today saying the president has told aides in private that he felt tired, and that explains why there are so few events before 10 a.m. So 2 questions. Is this why we're seeing brunch lids in recent weeks? Today we had a breakfast lid. And has the president admitted to you?
Wait, say that last part?
So is that why we had a breakfast lid this morning? I mean, the book is...
what?
There was a breakfast lid came to the press for the first time.
She didn't understand that word.
We've had some brunch lids in recent weeks as well. So my question is
So you think we've had those lit because of this excerpt?
The excerpt, the book is suggesting the president tells aides he's tired.
But that's in the excerpt, right?
Yeah, and that's why there have been so few public events before 10 a.m.
I mean, that's a ridiculous assumption to make.
Push back on.
I mean, that's a ridiculous assumption to make. Go ahead, Peter.
Why? Why is it ridiculous?
Yeah, why is it ridiculous? Because seriously, he's tired. He's old. He's tired. Why is
There's
that
a
ridiculous?
constant lid. He's constantly on vacation. He's
Right.
never accessible. When he
Yeah.
is, he can barely speak.
Uh-huh.
It's not ridiculous.
He can barely walk. I mean, this is the thing. The guy's old and tired. He's 80 years old. I mean,
Yeah.
listen, people get tired at 60.
I'm
It's
tired
like-
right now.
Right. I'm right there with you, sister. It's like, this is the thing. I mean, could you imagine how we're going to feel at freaking 80?
I can tell you right now, the last thing I'd want to do is serve in government.
I know, and I definitely don't want to run the country. I mean, I don't want to do that. I can't. This is the thing. Why do these people want to do that? Somebody made the point. They were like, listen, we give them these Mac Daddy pensions, and I'm paraphrasing, but we give them these pensions. Why don't they want to step down? So it's obviously a matter of power. It's power. They've got all the freaking money.
Right.
They've got so much money. It's just like this sickness in their brains where they're like, I have to have control. It's a control thing. It's control and power. They're just so drunk on it because listen, we have to work for our retirements, but these jackholes, they get these gigantic pensions that we give them.
work for their retirements too.
Amen. We are the ones working for their pensions that they get.
And
then
Ukraine's pension. Don't forget.
Oh, that's right. We
Ukraine.
got to make sure we work for the Ukrainian pensions too, you guys. Don't forget about that. We're working for everybody's damn pensions. Everybody's, but ours. It's like
so
we're the
ridiculous.
ones, we're the last one in line that we get a pension. But this is the thing. We're working for we get their pensions paid for. So it's like the only reason that they're doing this is for power. They just want power at 80. Can you imagine?
Oh my God. Well, and you talked earlier about how, we don't want to be hypocrites when it comes to criticizing people who are staying in power way past their expiration date, like McConnell, like Feinstein, whoever. And there are people on the left who will insist that, yes, of course, McConnell should get out of there, but Feinstein is completely fine. Like, these are the hypocrites. And yesterday, I actually saw someone on Twitter suggest that if we say that the episode that Mitch McConnell had yesterday means that not only should he resign, but so too, and I'm not making this up, should Steve Scalise, who was recently diagnosed with blood cancer. And I was like, one of those two things affects cognition. And I can tell you right now, it's not blood cancer.
It's not
He's
blood
gonna be
cancer.
fine. Okay.
That
He's
guy
gonna be fine.
That guy survived a shooting, like getting shot. And now he's got blood cancer. He's going to be fine.
I mean, that is how whack the left is. That they'll be like, well, if you're saying McConnell should, Steve Scalise should resign. If you're saying Feinstein should resign, then Steve Scalise should because he has blood cancer, and that's the same. Okay.
And meanwhile, they'll be like, but Fetterman's okay. Fetterman's completely fine. Okay.
Oh my God.
Good
Michael
Lord.
Steller, thank you. Michael says, visiting angels, somebody call them.
Uh-huh. Visiting angels, America's choice home care. You guys, we're harmonizing now. We've stepped it up. We have stepped up our game.
You're welcome.
You don't come here for just that. I mean, listen, we are not amateurs anymore.
That's right.
Right?
We've stepped up in the world.
Hold on 1 second. I'll be right back.
I'm going to talk about Omaha Steaks.
Omaha. I'll be right back.
You deal with your dogs. I want to tell you guys, I want to actually show you something today about Omaha Steaks. I thought, you know what? It's one thing to talk about the fact that there's a 50% off site-wide sale during their anniversary sale right now, where literally everything on the omahasteaks.com website is 50% off. But it makes a lot more sense, not just to talk about it, but to show you this. Can you not smell and hear this screen right now?
Good stuff.
I mean, look at it.
God, so good.
It is so good. So
wanna eat
for
that
Labor
right
Day,
now.
they've got this one Grillers Labor Day feast, which of course includes these butcher's cut filet mignons. But if you want other packages and you just scroll down, once you go to omahasteaks.com and you put chicks in the search bar, you're going to get all kinds of different perfectly curated packages. The gourmet sampler is another example, the butcher's deluxe assortment. I mean, all of the different packages that you can get are so phenomenally delicious, and every single one of them is 50% off right now during this sale. So you want to order before Labor Day, in time for Labor Day, because you guys know you're going to have barbecues. And even if you're not having barbecues, this stuff will store in your freezer forever. I mean, you can have it whenever and just stock up and forget about the grocery store and their ridiculous prices. Get yourself some Omaha steaks.
So good.
So good.
So good, you guys. It's ASMR good. It's so good. So delicious. So sizzly.
Anyway,
Okay.
omahasteaks.com. Use
Uh-huh.
chicks in the search bar.
Do it.
All right, let's move on to Vivek. Vivek had himself some moments earlier this week. One of those moments happened with respect to climate change. And because of Idalia or however you say the hurricane's name, everybody is taking, all the lefties are like, see, now nobody can deny that there's climate change. It's so stupid that they're doing this, but this is what they do. So Andrea Mitchell, that just insufferable cow, she was talking to Vivek about how this hurricane and how clearly it's all kinds of evidence of climate change. He gave her the best schooling on this issue ever. You must see it. Listen.
The hurricane that is now approaching, you've called climate change and that agenda a hoax. You said more people are dying from bad climate change policies than there are of actual climate change. But according to a UN agency, extreme weather events compounded by climate change caused the death of 2 million people between 1970 and 2021. Can you offer a shred of evidence that more than 2 million people died from converting to clean energy?
Here it comes.
I can offer clear evidence that the number of climate disaster-related deaths is down by 98% over the last century. The number of people who died of hurricanes, tornadoes, heat waves, and other weather-related events in 1920, for every 100 that died then, 2 die today. And the reason why is more plentiful, abundant access to fossil fuels and technology powered by fossil fuels. I can also tell you today, it is a hard fact. None of these things are disputed. 8 times as many people die of cold temperatures than die of warm ones. The right answer to all temperature-related deaths is more plentiful, abundant access to fossil fuels. The Earth is covered by more green surface area today than it was half a century or a century ago because carbon dioxide is plant food. And carbon dioxide as a percentage of the atmosphere is still at a relative low through human history. Those are hard facts. And I think we have to acknowledge those facts when having this debate.
Well, there's a hard fact of the hurricane that is now approaching. The mayor, a 3-generation St. Petersburg resident, says he's never seen anything like this, the ocean warming. But let me move on to some
Andrea, may I respectfully offer a response to that? And I mean this with due respect. If someone on the other side were an uneducated person from Arkansas who didn't go to college and offered one weather event as an N of 1 anecdote to help support a theory of global climate change, you'd laugh off the stage as a rube for saying they don't follow data. The same shoe has to fit the other foot. Follow the actual data.
I'm not talking about one person's opinion. We talked to professors, academics.
You literally just quoted one person's opinion, with due respect. That's exactly what you just quoted. And I think that's what's driving this kind of false narrative as opposed to the facts that I'm citing.
Well, and Dr. Michael Mann, whom we interview often, and other professionals.
Oh my God, that was beautiful.
Take the seat, Andrea. Just take it. God, he just schooled her. It wasn't that beautiful. Wasn't that just fun to watch? And she was like, I can't. I'm Andrea Mitchell though, but I'm
there's
Andrea.
Other people that say things, and so I have to say them.
And I'm Andrea Mitchell, and I'm Andrea. Don't you know who I am? Don't you know?
Oh my God. So it was such a schooling on that and multiple other topics, by the way, that it got so bad that Jesse Waters later had Vivek on his show to ask him if Andrea hates him. So
is she okay?
Here's that clip.
Stops.
Let me play what
commitment to strategic ambiguity.
Nikki Haley said about your position on Ukraine, Israel, Taiwan.
Yeah, it's a lie. Go ahead and play it.
Vivek Ramaswamy is a 2024 presidential candidate, and he joins me now. Do you get the feeling Andrea Mitchell hates your guts, Vivek?
You know, I think she hates what I articulate. That's for sure. She and I have never met in person, so I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt.
Okay, so
but one of the things
RFK
I don't do, Jesse, is I don't let them railroad me.
I had RFK Jr. on the other day, and he has a lot of respect for you. If I invited you and he on the show right here on set, would you guys hash that out?
Yeah, absolutely. Why not? I think more dialogue is good for the country.
Okay.
And I think one of the things he's doing in the Democratic primary, I appreciate he's challenging orthodoxy. That's what I'm doing as a Republican. But I think that we need to transcend those partisan boundaries. I would do it.
I like that. I think that's great. Yeah. I'd love to see that. I think that would be a beautiful thing if they got together and you know what? That'd be a really cool conversation. And I bet you they would be entirely respectful to one another.
Oh my God, they would be, because both of them believe that so much that the more dialogue there is, the better. Yeah,
it would be a really neat conversation. I bet they get along beautifully. You know,
I wish I could talk like Vivek. You know how he says country like that in that. I don't know how he does it, but there's like an affect to his voice where he was like, "It's good for the country." You know what I mean? I can't do it, but you know what I'm talking about.
I do. I know exactly what I do. I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah.
He also had an interesting position on birthright citizenship. I think this was on Tim Pool's show, if I'm not mistaken.
Love it. Yeah, it was the Timcast. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is see what you guys think about this idea.
So I would end birthright citizenship for illegal immigrants.
But not for legal immigrants?
And the children of illegal immigrants. Well, what does it mean for everybody else? I mean, we're all citizens, whether sixth generation or first generation. In my case, if you're born in this country, you have citizenship if you're born under legal circumstances. But I think that if somebody comes to this country illegally and has a child while here, I do think we have to end birthright citizenship.
But does that mean you deport like a 1-year-old?
I think you would do the family. You would take the whole family unit. So I'm strongly opposed to policies that would separate kids from their parents. I think that was discussed even in the Trump administration and otherwise as a tactic for deterring people from coming. As a pro-family leader, I will not adopt such a policy, but we will send back the family unit as such. And I think that if you came to this country illegally, the right answer is you have to be sent back to your country of origin, come back through the same legal means, getting in the same line that everybody who's coming into this country legally is already pursuing.
And, you know, I was on Twitter looking at the comments, obviously, because you know how I always look at the comments. And people are like, this is really rich coming from an immigrant. And I'm like, why are people so stupid? And seriously, I'm like, why are
you to me then too?
Exactly. I'm like, why are you so dumb? This is why people in America are so freaking stupid, because they don't understand the difference between illegal immigration and legal immigration. One involves breaking the law. So if you break the law, you need to GTFO. If you don't break the law, come on in. You know what I mean? It's like, you're welcome. Come on in and I will hug you. I will hug you. I will welcome you with open arms. You're awesome because you have not broken the law. You have come into this country legally. Yay! Which is what he did, which is what your parents did, which is what so many people are wanting to do and they're waiting in line to do. Meanwhile, while people are busting in here and breaking the law, thinking if I do that, then the kids that I have will just get in automatically. No, bullshit. That's not the way it's supposed to work. And for some reason, people think, oh, I'm going to do that and it's great and I should be able to do that. No, that is not the law.
Yeah.
That's not the way it's supposed to be. So I think this is brilliant. I think that's awesome. But so many people in their brains, because we've been warped in this country for years, for decades and decades, because we've been so many people, especially younger people, they think that it's supposed to be another way. It's not. You're breaking the law. If you break the law, you need to go. It's like, why is this so hard? Why is that hard? Why is that hard to understand?
Our buddy Nathan from Boston has sent a super sticker saying, absolutely love the harmony. Y'all better sing.
We're like the Sweeney sisters now. We just need like some gaudy like evening gowns and start singing Visiting Angels. You guys.
It'll be our new single. That'll be a single of our new album.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna drop it soon.
Oh my God, I love that. Nathan, it's great to see you. It's great to hear from you. We forgot to mention earlier in the show that obviously there are still people reeling from the hurricane. And I have to say, and not because I'm biased, although I kind of am, that you will not see a better leader in the time of a crisis like a hurricane than Governor Ron DeSantis. He knows how to lead through hurricanes. We all remember Ian last year and how quickly he swept into action and made sure that bridges got rebuilt to get access and supplies to the people that needed them. He's just really good at this particular type of crisis management. And he was on fire yesterday, constantly giving updates through the press, constantly making sure that people knew what was going on, constantly making sure that crews were on the ground, restoring power almost as quickly as it was going out. It was kind of a thing of beauty. And so it was unbelievable to me that he was asked during one of the pressers to respond to Trump's lack of commentary about the hurricane. And so I guess there were a lot of people mad yesterday that Trump spent a huge amount of his day truth socialing up a storm about himself and all the indictment stuff, his campaign, whatever. Did not mention the hurricane, although he's a resident of Florida. Wasn't even talking about the hurricane until there was backlash. And I think finally at around 4:00 yesterday afternoon, he finally tweeted something about it. But the fact that this is a question that Governor DeSantis has to deal with is so stupid. I mean, why? Why would this come up during a hurricane? I have no idea. And I thought his response to it was pretty damn awesome. Here it is.
Trump, he's a resident here in Florida, and he hasn't commented on Idalia at all yet.
It's not my concern. My concern is protecting the people of Florida, being ready to go, and we've done that. And look, in Florida, you just have to do this. I mean, this is something we put a lot of time and effort into throughout the course of each year, knowing that there's going to be time where you're going to have to activate it. Now, we had a major one last year, one of the most expensive on record. We were hoping not to have any this year, that maybe we would get off lucky, but that just wasn't in the cards. So you deal with it. But that's been our focus, getting all this stuff ramped up. I think the counties, by and large, I think have done a really good job with this. And there's going to be things that are going to happen over these next few days. They're going to require a lot of support, and we want to be there to be able to support folks. So we'll be back with doing some more briefings, and then as soon as the storm passes, I think we'll probably end up trying to get on the road and figure out where the worst damage is, and get down there and see what we can do to be able to help those folks. Thanks.
I swear. He's nicer than I would have been. Again,
right?
This is why I can't be in office. I would have been like, that's a dumbass question.
Yes.
Get your money back from the school that you got a journalism degree from. Seriously. That's what I would have said. And I would have been like, next question.
God.
I cannot deal with these people. They are the worst of the worst. Like, what does Trump have to do with anything? What is he has nothing to do with what's happening here. We're dealing with a disaster situation. You're an idiot. Move on.
Oh my God. It was just so ridiculous.
These people.
Oh my God.
Insufferable.
Speaking of the hurricane and DeSantis' response to it, Peter Doocy trolled KJP so hard about
so
this
great.
yesterday.
It was
my God.
Awesome. So awesome. I'm so glad to see him back.
I know, it's great.
I'm just so delighted that he's back. And I feel like he's meaner now, and I love it.
And he's a little meaner.
You know why? Because he's a daddy. And it's like, I think when you become a daddy, you become like more protective of just the world, like your kid, because they're in the world now. And now you're like, oh yeah. It's like, he's got that protective instinct to him now because he's a daddy, and I love it.
Well, and what he did in the presser yesterday, when he questioned KJP, he put in a dig in there about how great Governor DeSantis' response has been to the hurricane, and then immediately compared it to how shitty of a job the Biden response was to Hawaii's fires. And she did not like it.
Okay, and it seems like the hurricane response so far is robust. Did you guys realize that the initial Hawaii wildfire response was not that good? Or is it just easier for people to get help from the White House when the president is not on vacation?
So the premise of your question and the way you posed your question, I disagree, just for the record. So if you were to do your reporting and speak to the governor of Hawaii, the senators of Hawaii, the folks on the ground, they would say that the president reacted in record time when it came to dealing with the wildfires, when it came to dealing and making sure that they got everything that they need on the federal level to deal with what was going on the ground. Let's not forget there were more than 600 federal employees on the ground already to assist with the wildfires in Maui. So your question is wrong, is flawed in many, many ways, and I would advise you to go speak to the governor and the local and state officials in Hawaii.
Just not the people on the ground, because they're pissed.
Yeah, exactly. What's important here is how flawed his question is.
So flawed.
You know, it's almost as bad as the fact that Joe Biden may have lost his Corvette in a fire.
Oh my God.
At one point in his life.
And almost lost his wife.
Right. I mean, almost. But man, that question, it's like really what's important is that the question was flawed. It was just so flawed, you guys. I mean, seriously.
I just love that. Loved it.
The whole thing. It's just awesome.
We've got to hear this tiny little clip of Hotep Jesus talking about what is wrong with so much of the mindset of many Black Americans right now. And I was like, oh my God, it was the timing of seeing this was so perfect, because I fought with someone on Twitter yesterday. It was somebody who was saying I was racist. I can't remember why. I mean, I just exist, so therefore I'm racist to a lot of these freaks.
You're white. You're white, so
right.
you're racist. You're white and conservative.
It was somebody that was trying to say that I oppress Black people.
Really?
Because
How do you do that?
Exist. Well, because my skin. I mean, don't you see
because you're alive and you're white,
right?
And you're conservative, so you oppress Black people. Okay,
right.
All right. Mm-hmm.
And so I wrote back to that person, and I was like, "It must be exhausting to be this victimized. Like, how do you?" That is just such a dumb way to be. Like, and I look forward to your response of telling me specifically how I personally oppress you, a complete stranger that I don't know.
Right.
So report back. And then I saw Hotep Jesus saying this.
Start with the subconscious mind and the Black mind. The problem with the Black mind is the fact that the Black mind starts off with a defeatist mentality. From the day you're born, you're taught the white man's out to get you. So you start off with a boogeyman, and then you're taught that you're a slave, right? So when your subconscious mind believes that the beginnings of your race is a slave, how do you aspire to be more than that?
Yeah.
It's so true.
Right.
And then all the garbage that Black people are taught, you know, it in culture, in society, in schools, and now in schools, right? And just everywhere you look, it's like race.
Yeah.
Everything that kids are taught now. I hate it. It's just ridiculous. And so add what he said, add all that stuff on top of it. And it's like a recipe for disaster when it comes to race relations, when it comes to self-esteem, everything. And there's so much on top. I mean, my God, we could do a whole podcast.
Oh my God, I know. And it just, that defeatist attitude, like he mentioned, is the worst possible thing to grow up with, because then you never aspire. You're never incentivized to do anything, because you constantly are just feeling like the world is against you, and I'm never going to amount to anything because the white man. And it's just such a dumbass way to think.
Yeah, it's it's a microcosm for that whole victim mentality. I mean, that victim mentality is in so many parts of our society, but but the Black culture is just one of those, cultures that takes on that victim mentality. And it's a shame. It's a real shame. It doesn't have to be that way.
I know. And thankfully there's a lot of people that are waking up, like this fellow, for example, in 90 seconds, somehow manages to capture everything that's wrong with Democrats. And he is not down to clown with this party any longer. Listen.
I'm 2020 because, to be honest with you, I don't want the world that they're offering. I don't want to keep my thoughts to be sheltered. I don't want to be censored. I don't want them to take away the right to defend myself. I don't want them to say it's okay for kids under the age of 18 to have medical autonomy from their parents. I don't want Planned Parenthood in all these high schools. I don't want all these black kids dying in the streets because they defund the police. I don't want us to lose some more money so we have more people and we have to rely on a little bit of crumbs that the government can give us while they sit there and steal from us. I don't want shit in the streets anymore. I don't want needles on the corner when I'm walking down the street. I'm tired of seeing 10 cities grow, and grow. I'm tired of seeing taxes go up and nothing helping. I'm tired of seeing these cops that... I'm tired of seeing 10 cities grow, and grow. I'm tired of seeing taxes go up and nothing helping. I'm tired of seeing these cops that are sitting there getting away with murder because we've been sold a bunch of bullshit about these unions and we can't fucking fire nobody. Then on the back end, I'm tired of that for the same thing for teachers. We can't fire teachers and they won't give us a school choice. That's what I want. So for me, I'm like, I'm sick and tired of that shit. And they are offering it. We see it right now. We look at Chicago right now. We look at what's going on in LA. We look at what's going on in Portland. We look at what's going on in Seattle. They're trying to tell you, you're seeing people die, you're seeing places burn, and they're trying to tell you nothing's happening. I don't want anything to do with that, man. There's real problems in this country, and we live in the best country at the best time. So if we can fix the real problems we have, can really be fixed. It's not like any other time. We can really fix shit, man. It's not a joke anymore. Like, we know what we need done, and we can do it. And I don't want anything to do with them, man. I don't want anything.
I love him.
The guy is switched on.
Preach. I love him.
Wasn't that great? God, I love that too. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of love, remember how the other day we played a sheriff from somewhere in Florida, and I was like, "Oh, that's the Jacksonville sheriff," and I was wrong about that, and was immediately corrected. And thankful that I was immediately corrected. And now I have a clip of the actual Jacksonville sheriff, who is so awesome. Because he is setting these reporters straight about guns. Now, he's responding to a question about how the shooter in Jacksonville at the dollar store was able to get his gun. And apparently that person had his gun legally. And so the reporter, of course, is like, what are we going to do about that? And so his answer is it's just a thing of beauty. I wish every sheriff would commit this to memory anytime that there is a shooting like this.
There was nothing indicating that he should not own guns.
So then standing here on the other side of this podium, he possessed these guns legally. We know what he did with them. What could have been done? What should have been done?
Well, we have to stop people that have bad intentions. Guns, the story is always about guns. The people are bad. This guy's a bad guy. If I could take my gun off right now and I lay it on this counter, nothing will happen. It'll sit there. But as soon as a wicked person grabs a hold of that handgun and start shooting people with it, there's the problem. The problem is the individual.
Amen.
Now, guns are a tool that people use to do horrible things, but it's the individuals that wield these things. So we are working hard to try to stop that. But in this situation, in this case, there was nothing illegal about him owning the firearm.
I love that.
Oh my
so
God,
much.
he totally gets it. This is
right?
the thing. How
He's
hard is
clone that man?
Right. He gets it. How hard is this to understand? And you can't legislate evil.
Right.
You can, and people have been trying to do that for years and years and years. You just can't do it. You can't legislate. They try, they keep trying, and you can't do it. So you got to get to the root of all these other problems. Until they try to do that, this crap is going to keep on happening. So,
yep.
Mm-hmm.
Tucker was on with Adam Carolla, and it's a great interview. I highly encourage everybody to listen to the whole thing. But there was one clip that I wanted to share. Somebody's got to do something about Tucker's lighting. It is not good.
He's in a cabin. He's in a listen.
But it's
I've
like there's a light shining up just on one side of his face.
You think you would understand that after years of being on Fox and all these other places? I mean, the guy has done journalism forever. You think he'd understand that, but maybe he just doesn't give a crap. He just doesn't care.
Yeah, and that's probably true. He's probably like, why do you give a crap about my lighting?
He
It's
doesn't
a little
care.
distracting for me, I must say. It's a little distracting. He's very orange, and that is not okay. So anyway, they're talking about, because remember how when Tucker interviewed Trump on debate night, he said, do you think that they're just going to try to kill you? Because like they've tried everything else. And so he went into that discussion with Adam Carolla just a little bit deeper. Here it is.
What do you think the future holds? Is it?
I don't know.
I mean, are they going to let Trump be president?
No, of course. I mean, look, if, they protested him, they called him names. He won anyway. They impeached him twice on ridiculous pretenses. They fabricated a lot about what happened on January 6th in order to impeach him again. It didn't work. He came back. Then they indicted him. It didn't work. He became more popular. Then they indicted him 3 more times, and every single time his popularity rose. So if you begin with criticism, then you go to protest, then you go to impeachment, now you go to indictment, and none of them work, what's next? I mean, graph it out, man. We're speeding toward assassination, obviously, and no one will say that, but I don't know how you can reach that conclusion. You know what I mean? Like, they have decided, permanent Washington, both parties have decided that there's something about Trump that's so threatening to them, they just can't have him. I mean, they're putting him on trial in March of next year in the J6 case, which basically consists of trying to send him to prison for the rest of his life for complaining about the last election. That's literally what it is. Again, if this were happening in Moldova, the State Department would issue an all-hands-on-deck order to let the world know this is not a legitimate government. And yet our government is doing it. It's like it's hard to overstate how bad this is. And I don't know where it's going, but there's a collision that's clearly imminent. And by the way, the president is senile in a way that's impossible to deny. Biden's not running the government, so like, I don't know, man. I've never been this worried about anything as I am about where this is going.
I believe him 150%. I believe everything that he just said. I mean, it's right. Everything that he just said. I mean, he's not wrong. If you graph it out, he's not wrong. It's pretty insane. I think we're all like frogs in the pot of water, right? Because you just get kind of used to all this shit. You get used to all the things. Everybody, I mean, we did it during COVID. It's like all the stuff, you just kind of get used to the government doing all these things, and everybody has jobs and everybody has lives, and we all just go about our business. And it's like, what can you do? What can you actually do when these statists are doing all of these things, and we're just kind of like, we're just part of the wheel, right?
Right.
It's like, we just, what can you do?
I just hope that Secret Service, and I hope Trump's paying for extra security on top of his Secret Service, and that he's watching his back. Because yikes.
I hope so too. And then it's like, you look at the long game and you're like, then, I mean, what is happening to this country? Look at the country now as opposed to where it was 20 years ago, and how far we've fallen.
Yeah, it's really depressing.
Yeah, it's depressing.
Which is why we need stuff to undepress us. And one of the things is that precious little boy who had the "Don't Tread on Me" Gadsden flag patch on his backpack. He is now speaking out about how his day back to school went. Apparently, this little boy, not very popular, has not been, he often eats lunch alone, apparently, because he's a kid that knows he's
smart.
Soul. He's smart.
He's smart.
He knows a lot more than his fellow classmates. And so they didn't like him, and didn't like the fact that he was essentially a troublemaker because he was always making these political statements. Well, now that the school has to let him wear his Gadsden flag patch, and now that he's had this explosion of popularity, he had himself a better day. And here he is to tell you about it.
Hey guys, today was a good day. Kind of. When I got to school, the kids were really hyped up because they saw me on Twitter, and kids are putting "Don't Tread on Me" on their locker. Well, at least my new made friends, because I'm big on Twitter, and now they like me all of a sudden. But the teachers, on the other hand, I got some dirty looks, that's for sure. They're definitely not happy with me. But other than that, it was pretty good. I was on the Charlie Kirk show, and Ben Shapiro had me. It was a really good day, in my opinion. Well, have a good day, y'all.
I have a
that kid is gonna be he'll probably be a phenom in college. You know what I mean? Like he'll
so
yeah, listen, he'll have his time. He may be having trouble now because what is he, like a middle school kid? Is he middle
12.
school? Yeah, he's like a year younger than my daughter. That's a tough age, man. Like middle school, so freaking tough. I'm living it right now. They are not kind in middle school. Let's just say. I mean, you guys have probably had kids, grandkids that are middle school. Middle school is the worst.
The worst.
And so that kid seems like he has a good head on his shoulders. He's smart as hell. He's going to be fine. He seems like he is going to be just fine. In fact, he'll be one of the really good ones.
Yeah.
And so I have no worries about that kid, but it's like, I don't know. I just look all the stuff that was on his backpack and I'm thinking what he's going to be a leader is what he's going to be.
Yeah.
He'll break out and he'll be a leader one day. And God bless him for standing up for.
He's going to be like the next CJ Pearson. Now, CJ, who we found very, very early, we interviewed him when he was 12 on our radio show. And then after that, then he got his Fox appearance and all that kind of stuff. So he went through some political iterations, for lack of a better word. Like he was a Bernie supporter for a time. Like
what do you got about why?
He went through some changes, but then finally ended up on the right side of things and is very, very active even yet today. So yeah, I see Jaden being very much the same way.
Yeah, little libertarian, I think is probably what he'll end up being.
Yeah. I don't know who this guy is, unfortunately. Maybe other people might. But he was on with Joe Rogan and he was talking about a friend of his who helped transition their kid. And Joe Rogan just cornered him in this clip. And it's kind of a thing of beauty, short and sweet. You're going to love it.
Friend who has a trans kid, he's explained that my child from a very young age consistently said, I am a girl, and has never contradicted themselves, never changed their mind. And so the humane thing and the thing that he felt was good to do as a parent was to embrace that choice on his child's part. I shouldn't even phrase it as a choice, embrace that identity.
But it is a choice. If you're choosing to add hormones to a child's body, that's a choice. If they think that they're a girl, why do you have to give them hormones to make them more of a girl?
Because I'm sorry, can you expand on the question?
It's a simple question. If the child thinks it's a girl, let it be a girl. Why are you adding hormones? If you're shooting hormones into a child and you're affecting the child's development, you're saying that's not a choice. That's nonsense. Of course it's a choice. You're choosing to chemically change this child's body.
Yep.
I love that.
Yeah. If you guys want that, that's on our Instagram page. It's I put that out there last week.
Do you know who that is?
I have no idea. Okay. I have no clue who that is. Never seen that guy before ever. But he's got a great point, right?
Yeah.
It's like let him listen. If they want to be a dinosaur, let him be a dinosaur. But what are you going to do? Add like a tail to your kid? It's like a spiky tail. You're going to make him a stegosaurus or something. I mean, seriously, what the hell? Yeah.
Also, I regret to inform you that some of the worst people in the world have decided to come together to form a new podcast. And it's all the people that you just would never want to see in a podcast together. They now have a podcast. Here they are to tell you about it.
One more time, Jimmy.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Jimmy Fallon.
I'm Stephen Colbert.
I'm Jimmy Kimmel. I thought when you said Jimmy, you meant me, Jimmy, but you meant Jimmy.
I always mean you.
But when you say Seth Meyers, who do you mean?
I mean John Oliver.
It's the five of us together for
maybe
an hour a day. Strike Force 5 is the name of our podcast. Subscribe to it now.
Spotify or wherever else you get your podcasts. But Spotify, you fucks.
There was nothing indicating that he should not own it.
That's going to be their new...
That sounds dreadful.
Yeah.
So it's basically going to be like a Trump bashing segment every single
Pretty
day.
much.
For like an hour every day, they're going to talk about how much Trump and right-wingers suck every day. Oh, God, that sounds awful.
I know.
Like as if we don't get enough of that when they're on because they're not on TV right now though because of the strike, right? Like these people
maybe that's why they're doing it.
That's just probably why they're doing a Yeah, they want to make money on a podcast. This is why they're doing it, because they can't do it on regular TV because they're on strike. And so a lot of these people are about to lose their homes or something. Is that what it is? Screw them, man. God.
I know. Just the most insufferable people altogether.
Yeah.
Yikes. Okay, so here's something good. We haven't played a video. Someone sent this to me on Twitter yesterday, and it's that angry, I can't remember his handle on TikTok, but it's that guy that always calls himself gorgeous, and he looks real mean. You know the guy I'm talking about?
I don't.
You'll know him as soon as you see him.
Maybe I will.
But he loves reacting to people who create art out of his face. And so here he is with a reaction.
Oh my gosh.
Gorgeous.
Oh my gosh, that is amazing.
Right? It's just incredible. People are so talented. I mean, it's just amazing, right?
That's crazy. That's just really crazy.
Anyway, it is time for your whack.
Okay, my whack, you guys. This is just a really crazy little festival that's been happening since, 1945. It's in the town. It's in the town of Buñol. I think I'm pronouncing it right. It's in Spain, Buñol, Spain. About 15,000 people take part in this.
This isn't Running with the Bulls.
It isn't Running with the Bulls. It's called the Tomatina Festival, and it takes place, I think, the last Wednesday of every August. There are workers that have about 120 tons of overripe tomatoes. People like to wear white when they do this because they want to look like as red and bloody as possible.
Ew.
That's what they like. I would totally do this. I would absolutely take part in this. It looks like so much fun. Okay. And they do it in, it started in 1945 with local children in the town where they had a food fight. And they had a bunch of tomatoes. That's where it started. And they've been doing it every year since, which I think is really neat.
So now it's an adult food fight?
Now it's just like the entire town. So do you have the video? Because I have did you have the video? I think it's really cool. They use swimming goggles to protect their eyes. And it's like this massive party, and it's kind of like, people will do the Running of the Bulls, but people will go there just for this. I would totally do this.
I would do this before Running with the Bulls for sure.
Look how fun. Like, some people wouldn't be into this, but I would totally do it. I mean, just tomatoes everywhere. It's all over the street. Look at them. I think it'd be fun.
Okay, but also, I know they're overripe, but that seems so wasteful.
I know it does.
I don't mean to be Captain Bring Down, but yikes!
I know. Look at the guys that are just throwing all the tomatoes out. Like, there are people in a truck who throw all the tomatoes out, and then people just go crazy with. Look at all the people in the tomatoes. It's nuts.
It's like spaghetti, like human spaghetti.
Tens of thousands of people with just ripe tomatoes everywhere. I mean, it's out of control. Now, I have no idea how they clean it up. No clue.
Because this is my mom speaking, obviously, but I look at this and I just think there's starving children somewhere going, seriously?
I know.
You know what I mean?
But I mean, I think it would be so fun. I have no idea how they cleaned it up, Beth. I have no clue. No clue.
Oh my God.
But
what a mess.
It looks like so much fun.
Oh my God.
I would totally. That's why I thought, well, this is kind of whack. It's kind of funny, and it's just I didn't know about it. I hadn't. Tomatillo, yeah, it's the Tomatillo Festival. They're like little tomatoes, little baby tomatoes.
Wow.
Anyways,
I
thought
wonder
that
if they
was
just wait for rainfall and hope for the best.
I have no clue, but I never heard of it. I thought maybe some people here had never heard of it. Somebody said that their friends in Europe do this, and I thought it's kind of interesting. But yeah.
My husband and I have had a long-standing fight because he insists that someday he wants to run with the Bulls. And every year I send him video clips of people getting completely mauled. Yeah, and gored. And I'm like, you're never doing this. And if you do it, we're getting a divorce because this crosses my red line.
He'd be the one that would actually get killed by the bull, And you'd be like, see?
Come on.
Yeah.
And I couldn't even enjoy that "I told you so" moment because he would be dead.
There'd be like a horn up his ass.
Right.
Yeah, this is
I just think that is the dumbest tradition in the history of traditions.
0.0% interest in that, but the Tomatillo Festival, all about it, you guys. Be totally fun. Anywho,
it is time for some My Pillow talks, and My Pillow's still celebrating hard. They are partiers, man. They are partying at the mypillow.com/chicks headquarters. They want everybody to experience MyPillow's amazing products. And so if you haven't gotten yourself a set of towels yet, there are not enough beautiful descriptive adjectives I can use to describe how awesome the towels are. They are not like no other towels on the face of the planet. And if you know, you know. And you should know. And you can get them on mega sale when you go to mypillow.com/chicks. So many of their amazing products are super, super discounted right now when you use code chicks at mypillow.com/chicks. Okay. So first of all, we have to show a haircut that went terribly, terribly, terribly wrong.
So let me tell y'all what happened today. So this is my dog, right? And she needed a haircut like real bad, like real bad. So I took her to PetSmart, as a dog owner would, to get a little fresh little haircut. Don't laugh at my baby. I'm not playing with y'all.
What? Oh my God.
Mama.
What?
Mama, I know. This ain't funny. They fucked my baby up. Baby. I know. This embarrassing.
Why? What? And he paid for that? Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
What in the world?
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh. I would be like, can I get a discount or something? Because dang.
I know. So
Oh
great.
my gosh.
Sometimes you never know what your dogs do when you're not there unless you set up a recorder to find out, like this owner did.
Oh my gosh. You know what? I cannot.
Singing.
Oh my Lord. You know what his
Isn't that
name
precious?
is? You know what his name is? Harry Manilow. That's his name, you guys.
Is that for real?
No, I just made that up.
Oh my God, that's brilliant.
His name is Harry. That's what she should name him, is Harry Manilow. That's what I would name him.
Oh my gosh, that is brilliant.
Mhm. Right.
Other times there are dogs that do things right in front of you that you just cannot even believe, like this.
It's got to be a Dane. That has to be a Great Dane. That is so something my dogs would do. Look at her laughing at him. She's like, "You're a dumbass."
You're an idiot.
Oh my God.
I mean,
Coda would do that. Coda would do that for hours. So
dogs,
smart.
man, they are the best. Chompers. I did not realize this, but the Chompy dog, the one that chomps after eating.
Yes.
Chompies just got finally like officially adopted into that family. And so you're going to hear about how Libby got adopted first, and then you're going to see Libby chomp like Chomp has never been chomped. We've shown her chompies before.
All the chompiness, yes.
But this, we get close-ups of the chompies. Like this is a whole new level of chomptasticness that you are about to witness. I love this so much.
Oh my God.
The adoption paperwork is signed. Chomps is officially part of the family, letting the dogs taste some plain shredded pork to celebrate.
It just goes on forever. There's so much
Just wait.
chompiness. I love that
so
dog.
much.
Oh my gosh.
God, I
That
love her
dog.
so much.
So great.
And then this sweet, sweet little munchkin, this little nugget of a baby. It's so freaking cute. You guys look.
Can you say mama, mama? Can you say mama's name?
That happens all the time. Oh my God. That
Oh my
is
God.
so great.
Okay. And so this last one, I don't know how you guys are going to feel about this because there's some frustration I think that people feel in general when you are given a riddle to solve and then you never are told the answer. I know that that can be frustrating.
Yes.
Unfortunately, that is the case with this video. However, the comments more than make up for it. So I promise that this ends up being hilarious. Check this out.
You've heard of Elf on a Shelf. Now get ready for... What do you think it is?
What do you think it is?
Because
the comments, you guys.
Let's look at some of the comments.
In a groupa. Skanks in Spanx.
I love skanks and Spanx.
Whores outdoors.
Whores outdoors are great. That's great. I love whores outdoors. Skanks and Spanx is, I think that's my favorite so far.
Oh my God. So many. There were so many. Solid 9 if you combine. What? Double D's with bad knees.
That's good. That's good. I like it.
Cows nobody plows. Oh my God. Nope on a slope.
Nope on a slope. Boobs
Trees
and tubes.
next to trees.
Bob said boobs in tubes. That's good. Solid. And Shelly said that too. Boobs in tubes. Boobs in tubes is like.
But the one chick isn't in a tube. They're not in tubes.
Well, the one on the left is, I mean, if she took her jacket off, she'd probably be in a tube. Like the tube meaning the tightness of what they're wearing.
Well, okay. But I feel like that's pretty.
Skanks and Spanx, I think, is a winner. That's
that
totally
I love.
The winner. Yeah.
Butter faces in high places. Oh my God. It's just chubs near the shrubs. I mean, people, the comment section, I was dying. It was so mean.
Comments never disappoint.
Oh my God. 3 yikes on a hike.
Oh my God.
Cottage
cheese in the breeze. What in the world?
Hell no on a plateau.
Wow.
It's just, oh my God.
It's like, and they set themselves up for this.
Right. And then they never gave the answer. I looked on this account to see if they ended up giving the answer. No, they did
that's
not.
Probably why. They just wanted to have creativity in the comments. I mean, they asked for it, right?
Oh my God. There's so many mean ones, you guys.
Sandy said bitches and ditches. What is okay. All right.
If you want to see all the comments, go to Jesse Switch 0 on TikTok and read to your heart's content. We gave you
Eric said bounce by the ounce. That's a good one too. I mean, they're endless. They're endless, you guys.
Oh my God, just so many. So anyway, I don't know what the actual answer is, but there was quite a number of good ones.
The actual answer is that there's no right answer.
Maybe that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that is what it is. Anyway, those are your talks for today.
Are you gonna get up? I have to throw something at you. Get up.
Throw it.
He's still stretchy on the floor. I don't think he's gonna get up.
Okay, well, stretching means not laying.
Are you gonna
right?
come on, come and get up. Say hi to everybody. Come on. He's sitting up, but I don't think he's gonna get up. You guys see him? He's sitting up.
Get him.
Come on. Come on and get up. You see him looking at me like he's like, I don't wanna, you guys. I don't think he's gonna get up. You gonna get up? Come on. Come on.
Defiant.
Look at his face, you guys.
I know.
Look at his face. He's like, nah. It's Thursday. I'm not gonna. Is it Thursday?
Oh my gosh, he just put his head down like, I don't care about y'all.
He's like, IDGAF today. It's Thursday. I don't think he's gonna do it. Yeah,
Well,
Cash
he'll have
has
to
a
do it
very
harder
tough
tomorrow.
life, Angela. Very, very tough life. He just went right back to sleep, you guys.
Today
which-
Thursday?
It's Thursday.
Okay, well
all
then
day.
tomorrow he's gonna have to like triple flap.
He will flap. He will triple flap for us tomorrow because he knows it's Friday tomorh.
If
He's
I
just
flap,
picking
I
up-
think my big scrunchy thing will fall out.
It'll just fly out of there. You guys, I'm hugging, big hugs. You guys have a fantastic Thursday. Make it count, and we will talk to you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.